I guess it was like 1991, right, Steve? 1992,
Around there, maybe a little later. Yeah,
which is,
yeah.
by the way, like kind of like a historical time in culture because you had so much going on as far as comics, hip hop, just everything in general. The early 90s was such a massive like cultural explosion of creativity. You had jungle, trip hop, house music. There was all this electronica. Everything was kind of like exploding on the scene at that time. And comics was actually becoming like mainstream because of the fact of the value and what they were becoming worth. And the collectors were kind of going crazy for it. So it was an amazing time. And also, I was a much younger man, and
Weren't we all?
but I feel like Steve, you kind of you're like eternally the same, young, right? Youthful, I would say. You were like the older guy back
Yeah.
then. You still
Thank
seem
you. I
like a young
appreciate you
guy.
saying
Like,
that, sir.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And I was airbrushing in a
I'm
mall
very
called Green
sophomoric.
Acres Mall. Yeah,
Yeah. And I'm
but
I'm walking down the hallway and I see this guy doing this airbrushing, and the art blows me away. Go ahead, sir.
and then I'm like, wait, you're the creator of Zen Intergalactic Ninja Comics, which I knew about back then because Steve was kind of like this local neighborhood guy that had a mural of Zen Intergalactic Ninja on a wall, on this massive wall, like that's in the site of Long Island Railroad train like path, which I would take and I'd be
Yeah.
like, what is that? It looks airbrushed, it's an alien,
Yeah.
it's massive.
Yeah.
You don't see that in the 90s. You might see that now, but you didn't see that back then. So I was trying to contact Steve actually for a couple of years, being like, hey, I'm an artist. I want to, work
Yeah.
on your comic. And, I never was able to contact him. There was no internet back then. There was no social media. And here I am airbrushing in Green Acres Mall in Valley Stream, Long Island. And Steve walks up to the booth and he's like, can you airbrush this comic book character for me? And it's literally Zen. And I'm like, funny you ask. I've been looking for you for a couple of years. And he says, well, like, I can you do this? And I said, oh, I can do this. And I could also illustrate comics. But I didn't know I could. I never illustrated a comic in my life.